Okay, the IQ test I've seen going or floating around social media, mostly on Twitter. Well, these are to open up click farms. They're not really IQ tests, but let me show you the saddest thing that I saw a lot of people fall for, and some people were actually people that went to school. Yeah, just like you and me. It's hilarious, but just bear with me here. So it goes 8 plus 8 equals 56 somehow. Then 6 plus 6 equals 30. Okay. 4 plus 4 equals 12 somehow. Then it says 2 plus 2 equals question mark. So what is 2 plus 2? Does it matter at this point? If everything else is wrong, it doesn't mean that you solve it by being wrong here. It doesn't make sense that a lot of people fall for this as, oh, they just use your logics. You want me to use my logic? Okay, let's actually use logic really quick. So, in your math, 8 plus 8 is 56. This is not true. It doesn't matter what the precursor of your unknown is. Your unknown is what you're focused on. This doesn't say if 8 plus 8 is 56, then 2 plus 2 equals, I don't know, 2. That still doesn't make sense. It still does not make sense. That's not how logic works. That's not how math works. Because according to that, then you are supposed to assume that the plus here is an X. This is not an X unless you flip the table, but then the 8s, numbers 8, they become infinities and some numbers will change. So logically still doesn't make sense. So in order to accomplish a logical conclusion, you have to call a spade here. You say that 8 plus 8 is not 56. 6 plus 6 is not 30. 4 plus 4 is not 12. In order for you to accomplish the solution of 2 plus 2, it doesn't matter what you take out or you add on these numbers. You're focused on 2 plus 2. If the answer of 2 plus 2 is not 4, you're not only falling for the trap here, but you are throwing yourself intentionally into the trap, not understanding how it actually works. Because then, according to this logic, we would drop down to 2 by 1, right? 2 by 1 equals 2. But that's wrong. Where did I get this one here? Where? The questionnaire had a plus. All these have a plus. They don't have a multiplier. Yeah, I put some ink on my finger. There's no multiplier here. This is something that you were tricked into going towards, but none of them have a multiplier. So if I told you 0 plus 1 equals 0, 0 plus 5 equals 0, 0 plus, I don't know, 100 equals 0, and then in the end or on the side, I put, oh, by the way, 0 plus 0 equals this, and anything that's not 0 would be wrong, because this doesn't make sense then logically. 0 plus 0 is 0, but 0 by 0 is still 0. Any number by 0 is 0, but this is making the assumption of your brain to be tricked into saying these are multiplied, not added. But here are clearly added and not multiplied. So the answer to this one would be 1, 5, and 100. None of these stand. And this still doesn't stand. You see, the logic here is to throw you off. This is to throw you off to not get the right answer for 2 plus 2. It doesn't matter what they put before that. Before that are already solved and solved wrong. So this is to throw you off intentionally to solve 2 plus 2 on the wrong way. Where do you see an X here? Nowhere. These are all plus. So 8 plus 8, 16. 6 plus 6, 12. 4 plus 4, 8. 2 plus 2, 4. How hard is that? So because in mathematics, operations and symbols have specific meanings that should not be arbitrarily changed without explanation. So in this puzzle that we're referring to does play with these expectations, which can be frustrating because it defies the logical structure that math typically adheres to. So the problem here should be, as I just said, 8 plus 8 equals 16. So that's how it should go. And 2 plus 2 equals 4. There is no other explanations. And this does not equal 2. It is not the same. So don't fall for these things that they call, oh, IQ test. No, this is essentially a brain teaser or a riddle if you're going to fall for it. That's the whole, not a math problem in a traditional sense, at least. It's designed to make you think outside the box by recognizing a non-obvious pattern, which we saw here to make you think that there is a pattern here. Oh, let me go this way, right? But however, this kind of puzzle can be misleading because it asks you to ignore the established rules of mathematics. You cannot get out of them. They are rules that are literal, not hypothetical. There's no hypotheticals in mathematics. It's either 1 or a 0. 0.1, decimals, and all those, when they're called for. In this case, we don't have none of that. So it is completely reasonable to say, yes, the 3 first results are wrong, and the 4th result, that is our unknown, should be 4 because 2 plus 2 equals 4 and 4 minus 2 equals 2. That is how you resolve that. They are trying to provoke your brain to think on a different way. But this can lead to confusion because it doesn't follow logical or mathematical principles. So you have to make sure, is it logically challenging or mathematically challenging? In IQ tests, in case you've never taken an IQ test, this, how I did here, would actually score you straight up 100 right away without questions asked, because now you're following real logic and you're making sure your brain functions as supposed to. If you're asked a mathematical question, you answer it mathematically. If you're asked a hypothetical question, you answer hypothetically. So if it says, if hypothetically, these are the results, and this is a hypothetical plus, but this plus can be as anything else. I don't know. Could be a root square. Could be, I don't know, a minus. Then yeah, in this case, that's not a root square, but in this case, then we can change anything we want because anything goes. Then we're not dealing anymore with mathematics. We're dealing with hypothetics. Hypothetics are just whatever you think goes. It's just like a kid's play. All rules fall. So you don't adhere to any kind of ruling anymore. And then it doesn't really become an IQ test. It's more of a kind of childish riddle at this point. And it saddens me. That's why I'm even making an entire video on this. It saddens me to see this happening in social media. And all the comments without fail. I'm talking about, I read more than 50 comments in that tweet, which, I mean, yeah, the joke's on me here. Over 50 comments that it had. All 50 of them said right here the answer was 2. How is that possible? How is that possible? So, in this case, changing mathematical operations based on a pattern is illogical because math is literal and not hypothetical. So, following a flawed premise leads to an incorrect or flawed conclusion, which some people said it was 2. No, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and there's no other way to go around it. It's mathematics. So was just a quick video that really grabbed my attention in a bad way, and I didn't even know what to say at that point because I saw so many people responding to this with 2. How is that possible? How is that possible? It cannot be 2. It's flawed. And always when you are solving, whether it be mathematical or tricky questions or even IQ tests, if you really want to think outside the box, like this one here on Twitter called for supposedly to think outside the box. No, by thinking outside the box doesn't mean adhering to the wrong crowd, going to the wrong direction that never leads to anything good and positive. Instead, outside the box means calling out the shots when they're wrong and giving the right answers as they are right. This is a mathematical problem. It has to be solved mathematically. And I just hope this rambling made sense to you, and I hope you don't fall for this kind of stuff. Even if it's an IQ test, thinking outside the box is, as I said, calling out the wrong first. It's just like when I do repairs. Let's say I open a whole logic board. Instead of having to trace everything and thinking, oh, what if that and what if this, and check the power gate first, check the power brick first. Is the power brick receiving 19.5 volts? Yes, okay, that is check. Check if that 19.5 is going in the board and down with the rails. If that is not how it's going, then first, of course, start checking the fuses, start checking the other parts of the board until you find the solution. But first, focus on the obvious. The obvious, like here, obvious is very clear. It is a plus and not a X. It is very easy. It is very, very easy. So don't fall for these IQ tests because just you follow the crowd because everybody said 2. No, you have to be the one that says it is 4. It never moves. I don't know. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And we're talking about logics here. We're not talking about hypothetically make it whatever you want to be so you could be right. No, 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 no. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this time, this one is wrong. And please, hit like and subscribe. And we'll see you later. Just when it comes to mathematics and technical stuff, yeah, that's my trigger. We'll see you next time. Bye.